I created, the exercises. So now we're back at the in the text exercises, and I'm going to go ahead and work through the rest of them, and hopefully you guys can follow along. And they're pretty easy if somebody's kind of doing the routine for you. So I'm moving now to exercise 6-11, which is the going to display the apostrophe PSE, and PSE stands for Profile Station Elevation. Okay, so that means we need to get to a profile in our drawing. Now go ahead and open up from your Chapter 6 student files, open up the Chapter 6 profile drawing, okay? And that's the one I'm in here now. So I'm going to navigate over to the profile area. Now, again, let's cover what a profile is. A profile is a cut in the street, okay? Okay. A profile is a cut in the road along basically the center of the street, but it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly in the center. It could be off on the edge of pavements. Now let me give you an example. Let me minimize this and this picture right here. And the profile is this center line of the road right there for most cases, okay? And that's what we would be modeling if we were talking about the profile of this road, okay? Now we can take profiles here on the edge of pavement like this. I think you get the picture of what I'm talking about here. And that's called an offset profile, okay? Because it's offset off of the center line or the control. So one fact that you need to know about the profile view in Civil 3D is that it contains not only the center, but it also can contain offset profiles. So you can have multiple profiles in one profile view. And remember, the profile view, consider it as a container, okay? So what we're asked to do is create some geometry using transparent commands in the profile. Okay, so these are very similar to what we did horizontally, but now these are in the profile view. So let's go ahead and invoke the line command by L, and then we're going to use the transparent command apostrophe PSE, okay, and the computer asks us to select which profile we want to work in. So let's just pick anywhere in there. Now this is important. If it's not that important if you have only one profile, you're still going to have to select it, but you're going to have to select the correct one, the correct profile, if you have multiple profiles in your drawing. So the author asks us to go ahead and enter the first station. That's what we're prompted for, of 300. Return. Now specify the elevation. Remember, this is a station elevation pair command. Okay, so we're going to type 364 as our first elevation, and he's asking us to enter a new station, which is 300, new elevation of 355. Okay, and you just saw that line pop up. Okay, so now we're prompted now for a new station, 350. And 355 is the elevation. And the new station is 350 again. And 364. Okay? So using the transparent commands, we were able to precisely place these according to a station and create this U-shaped channel. Okay? Now let's go to exercise 6-13, which is the PGL, and that's a profile grade and length. Okay, remember what the grades are? Grades are slopes, but in percentages. Okay, so now we want to start our line command, and we want to create the first point at 18418. Let's check that number. It looks wrong. 18418. No, I'm right. Okay, comma 21222. Okay, now that coordinate has nothing to do with the profile. It's just a point out in AutoCAD space. Okay, the author is just placing a point right here. We got to place that point anywhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and invoke the transparent command of PGL, which is profile grade length, and then it's now prompting us for which profile do we want, are we speaking of. We can hit any of these lines, Now it's asking us for the grade. Enter the grade of -2% per the instructions, and then the length is 100 feet. Okay? And then I can hit escape twice, and notice it created this line. This line is 100 feet long at 2%. Okay? Again, we precisely placed in a line. There's no guesswork on that line. It's exactly the way we want it. Okay? Okay. You know what? I forgot one of the exercises. I forgot the let's see. I forgot the PGL, profile grade length. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I forgot one of the exercises. The exercise I forgot was 6-12, the PGS. Okay, and this allows you to create a line with the on a profile with the grade and the station. Now here we use the grade and the length, but oftentimes you need to go from station to a grade. Okay, so let's go ahead and invoke the line command. And the author is asking us to place a line at 18217, comma 21215, not 7515. Okay, and it's right there. Okay, so now he's asking us to invoke the transparent command of PGS, profile grade station, and oh, he's asking, we need to select the profile view. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go ahead and enter the line. Okay, and we're going to specify the station the author mentions, 18217, comma 21215. And again, that's just an arbitrary AutoCAD space point out there. Now we want to invoke the PGS command, profile grade station, and then let's select the view we want to work in. Okay, now it's asking us for the grade, let's say -2 again, and the station we want to go to this time is station 285, but you know what, 285 is just a nice round number. Let's make it 285.75. So it's 285.75, return, and yeah, I was hoping it would get closer to the line, but you get what it did here. Let's escape a couple of times to exit the command. So now we have a line at 2% down, and it ends at 285.75, the station 285.75. Now one thing I want to remind you of is that the stationing down here matches the stationing on the alignment. They're symbiotic. They have the symbiotic relationship. Okay, if this profile can never be longer or shorter than the alignment is. Okay. Okay, we're going to quickly cover a couple of miscellaneous commands, and those are exercise 614, and we need to navigate out to an area where we have this line and this arc. Okay, and so what the two commands are the MR/ML, and that stands for match radius or match length. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly demo these so that you know, we don't have to officially go through every step that the author does. So what I want to do is, let's say we're going to place a radius in here, but I need it to match that radius up there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put a circle, and I'm sitting here now. I'm not quite sure how big to make the circle, so I invoke the transparent command apostrophe MR for match radius. Okay, now it's asking me to select the radius I want to match, and in that one, and you could see it puff out. You could see that it matched that radius. Okay, and let's prove that. I'm going to list both items, and one should be an arc and one should be a circle, and the radius is 232.6789, 232.6789. Okay, so both of these were matched. Okay, now let's invoke the line command, and now I want to invoke the match line transparent command, ML, return, and I select this one, and all of a sudden I create a line but in this direction, but let's go ahead and list it. List both those lines, and both those lines should have the same length, and they do. Okay, that was the apostrophe MR and ML exercise 6-14. Okay, jumping to exercise 6-15, in that exercise series deals with parcels. Now, on page, let's see, 183, the author starts a conversation about parcels, and he wants you to investigate some of the settings and some of the attributes of the parcels. So go ahead and do that and read through what he says, but we're just going to go ahead and jump into the exercise 6-15. Okay, and I might exclude a step here or there just to expedite things, but pretty much I'm going to try and match everything that he does. And so what he wants us to do is jump to the view. Now I think we're there already, so of parcel A, and I'll just go ahead and set that as current, and we're there. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to expand the items for the parcel and the parcel styles. Okay, the parcel styles there. And we want to go to the chapter 4 parcel, and then we want to edit that. Okay? And then we go to the information tab, and we can see that it's the chapter 4. And then we want to move over to the design tab. And there we want to include the fill setting at a distance of 5 feet. Now what this is going to do for us, it's going to add a little 5-foot shading border all the way around our parcel. And typically in plats, we don't include any shading whatsoever. You know, I mean, the simpler the better on a plat. But for maybe planning purposes and for maps like tentative maps, we might want to kind of pretty it up with a little border like this. Okay, so we just say that's 5 feet, and we're good there. Apply that, and we're good to go there. And oops, forgot one thing. Let's go back, and we want to go to display, and we want the display to be a light shaded background. Okay, parcel area fill, that'll be light gray, and we want the parcel segment to be red. Okay, and we want the hatch to exist or reside on the V parcel hatch, and the segment will be on the P parcel segment layer, and we're good to go there. Okay, so say apply and say OK. Very good. Okay, now in the same drawing, we want to go ahead and go to the after we close that box down, we're good to go. Now let's go modify the label styles. So let's go down here to label styles, and let's look at the area and right click. No, let's drop one down. Right click on the chapter 4 area. Okay, now let's look at the information tab, and yes, that's the style that we want. And we go to the general tab, and we take a look at the information here, especially under the value, and it looks like under the value we want to go to text style. Okay, let's take a look at the layout tab, and under the text style we want to go and we want to change this to Roman S, and it's already set to Roman S. Okay, so now we go down to the